Greetings everyone, and welcome to this video about the visual novels Ace Academy, Calorie After Story, and Crystalline. For this video, let's do something different. I would like to start by introducing you all to the director at Pixelfade, the studio behind these games.
Hello everyone, I'm Dishu from Pixelfade, and these are my colleagues.
So, how would you say that one should go about creating a visual novel?
First, you should pick popular character tropes for the romance options and make them all into waifu material.
Your voice is super effing creepy. It should be illegal to talk like that. But please, continue.
Secondly, make sure you have an abundance of comedy. Clever fourth wall breaking may be appropriate.
Oh, you mean like mixing the voice files from the game with your own recording to make some sort of pseudo-interview intro? That is a good advice. I'll have to remember that.
If people start saying your project is for weeboos, then you're on the path to success.
You know your audience, don't you? Because that actually describes your games pretty well. So, with the intro over, let's talk about Pixelfade's visual novels. In the world of Ace Academy, there exists one particular college in the small fictional town of Isekai. This school is known for one curriculum more than anything else, which is its mech piloting program. You see, in this universe, mech fights are a popular sport, and multiple universities around the world specialize in training students to become professional mech pilots. After naming the player character, a feature which always opens up interesting possibilities, I might add, the story begins when the main character successfully lands himself a team and we get introduced to the rest of the cast. Sho, the obligatory dumb best friend, Mayu, the shy one, Kaori, the bossy one, Yuna Misaki, the nice one, and their mechanic Valerie, the flirty one.
I haven't had a chance to try it in actuality though. As much as I'd love to hop in your cockpit, I'm not much of a pilot, so I leave the test piloting to you.
From here on out, the story then follows the characters as they partake in the school's mech fighting tournament to become the best team at their school, much in the same way that a sports anime would. The tone surrounding these battles are very lighthearted. At literally no point of the story does the fights ever escalate into anything else than a competition between friends who both want to be the best. Now the mech fights might be the central pin holding the characters together, but that's not really the central core of the novel. The interactions between the characters is. In fact, oftentimes, the mech fights almost feels like an excuse just to give the characters something to bounce off one another, as none of them consider the sport to be the end-all be-all of their lives. They all have other things going on outside of the games, be it music competitions, cosplay parties, or just normal schoolwork. Having said that, at face value, the characters of this novel will mostly look like standard copy and paste anime tropes. And yeah, this novel does lean very heavily on its use of anime cliches. In fact, it even has both the obligatory beach episode and the bonus hot spring episode.
That pervert was taking pictures of younger girls! I made him promise never to do it again. Then, took out his memory card and threw it into the ocean for good measure.
Almost impressive there, Pixelfade. Most VNs in anime only has one of those. Really, make no mistake about this. Ace Academy is a romance comedy and waifu dating sim first and foremost, and mech sports visual novel only secondly. That's not a bad thing, it just means that the novel needs to be read with the correct expectations. You know what is a bad thing though? The ending of this VN. See, towards the last quarter of the novel, a pretty significant mystery had been building up, related to the construction of the main character's mech. It was even hinted at that this was going to become the main focus of the novel, but then just as this subplot was starting to look legitimately interesting, then poof! End of game! Yeah. Just like that. 1/3 of this game is missing. 1/3 is missing! It's just not there! It's gone! this whole mystery thing just gets swept under the rug with a, "Oh, sorry guys, we ran out of time so we couldn't make a better ending." Literally, by the way. I mean, look at this! I appreciate that you apologize about your trash ending, Pixelfade, but you know what? That still doesn't make it okay! But wait, answers Pixelfade. We also made Calorie After Story, which is a chronological continuation of Kaori's storyline. Oh. Right. Calorie After Story. Neat. Let's talk about that. Right, so after that quick transition, giving the viewers a visual cue that we've now moved on to a different topic, Pixelfade, tell us about Calorie After Story. Is it like a continuation of the storyline from Ace Academy, where you tie up all the loose ends from that game? Not really, Pixelfade answers awkwardly. No? Then, what is it about? Oh, it's about the main character and Kaori spending one Christmas vacation together with Kaori's family. Oh. Well, I guess that could be kinda cute. Sure. What else is it about? Nothing else really. That's it. What? That's it? That's it. Huh. I see. Okay, I'm being overly harsh right now. Kaori After Story is not bad per se. Its writing is on par with Ace Academy, and it does have a number of cute and funny moments. Like the scene where Kaori and the main character cuddle up together in a snow-covered cabin out in the forest. Or when Giguk made a quick cameo to inform everyone of a simple piece of truth.
Exactly, because anime is trash.
But really, I'm not joking when I say that it's only about the main character and Kaori spending one Christmas vacation together. And with a length of somewhere between 2 to 3 hours for an average reader, it's just so short and unsubstantial that at €8, it's not something I can tell you to pick up, even if you did enjoy Ace Academy. If this was a piece of free DLC, because that is honestly what it feels like, I would have given it a minor recommendation, at least to the people who did enjoy Kaori's storyline. As it stands, however, it's simply not worth its asking price. Hard pass. Let's move on to Crystalline. Crystalline is a fantasy vision novel which begins with the main character waking up in a green open field which he doesn't recognize. After looking around, and involuntarily becoming the best friend of an adorable slime monster from Dragon Quest, he quite literally runs into Liana, Mage Knight and the second most important character of the novel, who proceeds to explain that this place is in fact not Earth, but a magical world called Isaria. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gee, a story about a random guy who is transported to another world and has an obvious love interest literally thrown on him. Never heard of that one before. But, to those of you who are thinking that, I would just like to say, yeah. If you're tired of the ocean of Isekai that we're currently swimming in, I can already tell you right now that this is not going to be the VN for you.
Are you proposing to exploit his humanistic need to procreate with an attractive mate as a guise to extract the needed information?
If you mean flirt with him to find out what we need to know, then yes.
What a cunning method. I approve.
After clearing up some misunderstandings, the two decide to work together to find the main character a way back home. Along the way, they also run into some other fellow adventurers. We've got the young mage and scholar Emilia, who spends so much of her time answering questions about the world Isaria that she is more or less an anime version of Siri. The overly cheerful and snarky treasure hunter Kara, with the necessary assets to back up her attitude. And the cold and mysterious mercenary called Zack, who is definitely the male tsundere of the party.
I don't need much. Just the bare necessities. Like cuddles.
That sounds like a luxury to me.
I want cuddles!
No.
I want cuddles!
I said...
Incidentally, it is also quite cool seeing a VN that actually invests time into developing a proper romance between characters other than the main character. Who would have thought that that was even possible? Now, the quote-unquote main objective for the party might be to find the main character a way back home, but that's never actually treated with much agency. The plotline actually exists as little more than a reason to bring the characters together and putting them into different funny situations along the way. Situations such as getting into drinking contests and suffering the horrible consequences, manga shopping, confronting Walter White from Breaking Bad to shut down his purple crystal production,
Yeah, Mr. White! Yeah, science!
and going on shopping tours for extremely ineffective female armor.
How is that armor?
What do you mean? It's metal. That means it can protect you.
It's like they're playing a game of D&D but keeps getting distracted by side quests. Just like with Ace Academy, it isn't the story or the setting that carries the novel, but the interaction between the characters. It's built entirely on the day-to-day moments that the friends have with each other during their travels. It reminds me a bit of Konosuba in that aspect. Although, yes, while Crystalline doesn't borrow as much from anime tropes as Ace Academy does, it still leans quite heavily on them. This VN also has both a hot spring episode and beach episode. Funny how that works out. You know, that silly summary at the beginning of the video was clearly an exaggeration for the sake of comedy on part of the creators. But it wasn't that far from the truth either. Ace Academy is a romance comedy set in a mech sports school, and Crystalline is a romance comedy set in an isekai. Neither of them really break any new ground. The setting of both, their character archetypes, and overarching stories, you've probably seen most of it before. But honestly, I think that's alright. Because both games are so full of warm and genuinely fun moments that it almost doesn't matter. Pixelfade are clearly self-aware of what types of stories they are creating, and they never take themselves too seriously. Ace Academy and Crystalline are two nice examples of that if you just get the basics done right, then that's enough to write a story worth reading. If I were to recommend one over the other, I would say Crystalline is a better game, mainly because it actually has a proper ending. But I will say that Ace Academy is still worth giving a try. And with that, we are done talking about waifus for this video. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Actually, hold that outro just for a moment. So, Pixelfade actually recently completed their 4th visual novel, Ethereal Enigma, right after I finished the recording for this video. Awkward timing is awkward. I'm not gonna make a full discussion about it, but after playing it while editing this video, I can at least tell you that it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's basically on par with Crystalline and Ace Academy. If you like either one of them, you are most likely gonna enjoy Ethereal Enigma as well. Okay, bye for real this time.